Warning, incoming commentary. Hello everybody, my name is Jacky Octavius, and today I'm doing a bit of a post-commentary on World of Warships. Now, you see here I got my little Umikaze destroyer here. Now, something I did want to bring up, and I'm sure y'all noticed it on my last video, is currently I am running a very low resolution video. That's just my recording software at the moment. As soon as I can, I'm going to get an upgrade on that. Now, looks here on this battle, we just have one battleship, which isn't too bad, but I mean, that does leave a lot of cruisers for me to face off against, and I mean, it's not really that big of a problem in this one, but you guys will see later what can happen to me with cruisers roaming about. Now, looking at it here, I've got a pretty good lineup. I do end up having a couple cruisers follow me over to the lower point there, and you can kind of see here that I'm nitpicking my course, kind of just trying to make it perfect, so I slot in right behind that one island to the east of the, or to the west of the point. And I do kind of like doing that. I like to plan a little bit ahead of what I like to do when I'm sailing out, just so that, of course, it almost never goes according to plan, as I'm sure a lot of you can attest to. Now, it does take a little bit for me to get going here. So, after the closed beta, well, I'm not exactly sure now if it's still in closed beta or if they went to open beta, but it looks like everything got wiped, so I'm kind of trying out these new destroyers here. And I've been watching a bit of, I've been watching some other YouTubers do a bit, or some bits on destroyers, and I kind of like how the Japanese play. They do have very long-range torpedoes, and I mean, their guns are horrid, but we'll see that in a second. Now, it looks like I've come up across my first contact here. Fire's already going into him, but I'm kind of trying to stay back here a little bit, stay out of sight, keep my put my short range sight to use. Now I set up for a nice torpedo run here, and since he hasn't seen me, he's not gonna be able to react right away to me launching those. He can't see me actually launch those. And one thing I am seeing that I really like about the Japanese, or at least the Umikaze, is that I'm out of sight. I'm still out of sight here, and I'm already ready to go for another torpedo launch. And that's one hit there, which will definitely leave a mark on his hull. And I've got the two cruisers behind me there kind of gunning him down. And I take a swing around behind him, which kind of puts me out for a little bit. Leaves me hanging around until I can get around these two cruisers and set up for another run. Now, with these two cruisers here, it definitely gives me a lot of support, especially against a single cruiser. We've already got this base pretty much in our control, and I'm actually setting up here for another run on him. See if I can get some more damage before we wrap this up too far. And some shots going out from their guns. And 1, and 2. And there's the assisted capture. So this base is ours. Now, a little bit, I mean, being that he's kind of far out, honestly, now looking at it, I really shouldn't have launched those torpedoes. I should have just tried to get into gun range and take a couple shots at him, but back in the gameplay here, I put 2 more out for safe measure here and here, but you're gonna see in a second that none of them actually make it to the target. He gets gunned down before any of them actually make it, and the ones were actually short because his engine was damaged during that fight. So at the moment, I'm kind of just roaming around for a little bit, and I take a look north, and I see another cruiser, which is, I believe, a St. Louis class. So that's gonna be a big problem. So I target him, get my torpedoes ready. Look, he's pretty much bearing straight down on me, so I take a swing to the left and set up for torpedoes. And that's 1. And I love how it switches, and 2. Now, I can almost guarantee that neither of these are going to hit at the moment because he is bearing straight down, and you can see here that the aim indicator is actually swinging over to his right, which means he's actually going into a turn. Those torpedoes are going to go to his left. So I launch a couple more. I'm still out of sight, to my knowledge, so... Oh, there I go. I just came into his view, and he's going to be suspecting torpedoes to be in the water. But what he doesn't know is that they're already... Well, I mean, he's going to suspect that there will be torpedoes incoming, but he doesn't know that there are already torpedoes in the water. And there goes 1 there, which sinks him. Now, I did launch my second spread a little carelessly, so I shoot a quick message to the cruisers behind me. Hey, there's a couple torpedoes in the water, but he had already seen them and was moving to avoid them, which is nice. I don't really like doing team damage. It's not fun for anybody. Now, this guy is the last player left alive, and he is the enemy battleship. So, I line up for... I come in, look closer, try to see if I can get, around this island. And I decide right there is a good spot to put them. Although, these guys, I mean, the Umikaze's got good torpedoes, but they only go something like 56, 57 knots, which is fast, but at that kind of range, it does leave a lot of time to react. And we'll see, he did actually maneuver to... Well, not to avoid those, but he's maneuvering to actually get shots on our battleship in front of me. And I put 2 more in the water. See if it does any help. And right now, we actually have all of the points secure. So we're just pretty much... we're either going to cap out or we're going to kill this battleship. There's no real way that he can pull this back on us, considering that he is a very slow American battleship with not so very long range guns. And this is about where I decide that, you know what, maybe I should just put a couple shots on him, see what I can do. And there, he's done. Game over. Great win for us. Gives me a good 235 experience, 18,000 credits, and I just jump right into the next one. Now, this next one I really kind of like, because it does get a little hectic towards the end. I mean, I do make a couple mistakes, but it turns out to be a really, really great result. Now, for this next one, bit of a spoiler. Oh, there it is. It's gonna end up being 2 battleships, which seriously hampers their cruisers, but I'm the only destroyer. So there are still 5 enemy cruisers that I gotta deal with. And 2 battleships. I mean, battleships aren't that horrid, but coming into their secondary range is not a smart idea. So this one, I end up actually going west on this one. I swing out and start setting up for my nitpick again. Now, it's right about here that my torpedoes are loaded. I'm like, I wonder how straight these actually fire parallel. So I fire 1, and then I fire 2. Right here. Come on. There it goes. Now I'm kinda just... well, I mean, not at the moment, but I do take a peek back and see what those actually do. Yeah, they seem fairly parallel. Now it's right... I want to say it's right about... that's not here, but coming a little later. I mean, I do still have those, or 2 cruisers behind me, which is, again, nice backup for a destroyer. But I do kind of mess that up. Now it's kind of about here that I'm deciding whether or not I want to go to the north end of the point and swing around down, or go to the low end, or the south end, and swing up, and swing up west, north, and come back towards our base. I think eventually I just decide, whatever, screw it, I'll go and swing south. And I think it's getting close here. Where is it? I don't know, but I'm actually within meters of the cap circle, and I sail right in, and it's when I spot those cruisers over there that I decide, yeah, I should swing in, lay down a smoke screen so I have some place to hide while I launch torpedoes. Now, that does end up being a bit of a mistake, because I come all the way down here, start setting my smoke screen down, and about midway into it, destroyer right there. We've captured the base, but he has got eyes on me. Smoke screen is set right about here, so I start swinging back around to fall in behind it, but almost this entire way, and you'll actually see my detection indicator up there as well, almost this entire way back, he has got eyes on me. Those cruisers cannot physically see me, but that destroyer is reporting my position to them, which is allowing them to put pretty effective fire into me. Now it's right here that I actually slip back into the smoke screen. I did manage to get one spread of torpedoes off there, and I go to launch second spread. I only get half of it off before I have to turn completely away from them and actually get out of there, because I don't want to end up getting raffle stopped. I let my second one off there, and I kind of just wait for that one to load. I let it off. And they have got me spotted again. So I am in, being a destroyer, I am in grave danger of getting completely obliterated. So I just kind of turn tail and run. Now, seeing those three cruisers on the side there, I'm like, yeah, I have got to get out of here. I need to leave. It is not safe for me. If I stay any longer, I will surely be sunk. Now, I do have a little change of heart here, and I think it's right about... I keep sailing out here for a little bit longer, and kind of seeing where those torpedoes are going to end up on that one cruiser. He's heading towards the middle point there, so I kind of look back and I'm like, screw it, I'll go back in, I'll help those guys out, because even two cruisers against three is not very good odds, especially at this low tier. Whoever knows what they're doing definitely has the advantage, because these cruisers can do some real damage to each other, whether because of just the sheer amount of guns, and especially on that St. Louis, I actually start putting my guns on him just because we need to get that guy down. He is a very serious threat to the team, being that he is one of the higher tiers in the game, or in this game. And one of my torpedoes sails right into his side, causing some flooding, so I go ahead and put two more out on him. And I kind of just sail further away. I put my guns on him again, take a couple shots. Oh, and there goes my steering and my engine. So I repaired that right away, because no destroyer is good without steering or power. And killing him actually ended the game, because we got enough points that we hit 1,000. So on into the next one. Now, this next one, it's a rather interesting game, I will say. I do end up, I'll just say it ends up being quick, and being a whole bunch of cruisers kind of explains why. I mean, there are some other destroyers other than me, but there are quite a bit of cruisers as well. Now, this one does take quite a bit to actually get set up and into the thick of it, so I think I will just cut it here and skip to the interesting bit. Now here is where my trouble starts on this one. This enemy destroyer puts eyes on me, I put eyes on him, and we start playing a little game of hide and seek with the smoke screens. So I go to try and set up for a torpedo run on him, but being that he's popping in and out of view, it's making it rather difficult for me to get a clear shot. But there, I go 1, I go 2, and I can guarantee that these will miss because he is a destroyer and he's got plenty of time to react to those. So I end up just switching over to my guns and start piling shots into him. Now, if I had noticed this particular island in front of me, right here, I probably would have died. If I hadn't noticed the island, it probably wouldn't have turned out the way it had. This cruiser ends up taking all of the torpedoes for me, and this destroyer cannot aim torpedoes at all. He puts 2 right into the sinking hull, and he gets popped. Now, I'm free of this island, and I pull away, and just not 2 seconds after, I spot this cruiser up here, and he has spotted me. So I'm like, tasty cruiser. I'll take a swing to the right, and all of a sudden, shots. Oh god, 4 enemy ships. What do? So I swing back around. I pop the new engine enhancer consumable on the destroyer, and I fixed my steering there, but then I get a gun knocked out and I'm set on fire in 2 spots. And then a little bit later here, right about here, my engine's knocked out. Now if I would have waited for that actual repair, I probably would have gotten out of this, but right here, nope, here, no, god, I'm horrible at this. Let's see, it's this one, no, holy crap, there it goes. Fire takes me out, I am done. And again, if I would have waited a little longer on that repair, because I was already in the turn, I wasn't going to get out of it, I could have waited on that repair until later and probably saved myself. But thus is life. And this is kind of where I cut it off here. Now, being that I do have quite a low resolution video, I kind of wanted to make it up to you with this beautiful this beautiful picture of the Umikaze in my harbor. And like I said, as soon as I can figure out how to get higher resolution videos, I will definitely set that up. But I do want to